Alright guys, welcome back to another video. We are still at the University of Florida campus, and today's topic we're going to be asking people, are there cultures that are inherently superior to other cultures? And if some of these cultures come into the US, do you think it'll fundamentally change the nation? And should some of these cultures be accepted? Let's go find out. What's your name?
Romina.
Andrea.
Do you guys know what cultural relativism is? It's where no culture is inherently superior to another one. Do you guys believe in that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All cultures are inherently equal.
Sure.
Yeah.
What's your name?
Sophia.
Hiba.
What do you guys think of cultural relativism, where it means that no culture is superior to any other?
I think that should be the norm for just human belief. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
So you don't think any culture is better or more moral than others?
No, not necessarily.
Well, I guess it depends on, yeah. No, some cultures, yeah, I think there has to be some that are more moral than others. Yeah, I agree.
So would you say they're superior then?
I wouldn't say superior. I would say some have more equal morals than others, because obviously some view like women, children, all these different things as less than. So some have more equal morals than others. But I don't think that means superior. I think that just means more ethical.
Do you agree with her or not?
I don't know. It's actually a really hard question because we know like morality is kind of relative, but I would say like from what I believe in, like my morals, then maybe some cultures, they put more of an emphasis on things that I believe in, but what I believe in isn't necessarily like absolute truth. You know what I mean? It's kind of like a relative question, but in general, I would say no. I would say no.
So let's say, like for example, there are some tribes, the Pacific Islander tribes, where they still practice cannibalism, or if their friend dies, they'll, eat the flesh of their friend because they think it gives them some sort of spiritual powers or some sort of rituals. Or for example, like some Muslim countries where they practice Sharia law, obviously, where they see women as inferior. Would you say those cultures are equal to our Western culture?
Well, I think we should respect all cultures equally, but everyone can practice whatever they want,
I think it depends on like how you define equal and like for what means. Like I would say they're morally
Morally inferior?
yeah.
What's your name?
Sayeri.
Nika.
What are your thoughts on cultural relativism?
Yeah, I think most cultures are evil. Like everybody's a human.
No, equal, that they're
Yeah,
equal.
equal.
Oh,
I think
I thought
like
you-
equality. I think humans
Yeah.
are equal.
You don't think one culture is superior than others?
No, I think that's like racist inherently.
You think of, some tribes or cultures where they, eat the flesh of their dead friends.
Sure. I mean, you're talking about like a North Central island. I mean, these are uninteracted people. It's not a fair comparison, And I think when you're genuinely talking about cultural relativism, is every culture equal? You're making a modern day argument talking about white people and minorities in the U.S. or in developed nations, which is where I'm feeling everybody's equal. For general cultures, from contacted people in developed nations.
So they're not all equal.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Well, you just said the uncontacted
What I'm saying
tribes.
is uncontacted tribes is extreme outlier, and I don't think they're less human. I just think they're not up to the same they haven't been interacted with enough with other humans, with people from outside their own culture.
You said let anyone practice what they want. So you think people should be able to maybe eat each other, or for example, in some of these Muslim countries, if the woman gets, she'll get stoned to death because they think she put herself in that position and she deserves to die because of that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that's right, but I think it's hard. As long as other cultures don't do the same thing, that's okay. But I think it's hard for you to change years of culture if that's how they do their practices. As long as they don't involve anyone outside,
Okay.
I think it could be fine. I don't know. What do you think?
I mean, I would stand up against it. I just think it's a reality there, but I don't think it's right. No. I think it will evolve with time, but it's going to take a lot of activism and stuff for it to change.
Should we let some of these cultures be practiced in the United States?
No,
No?
I don't think. If eating people, cannibalism, it's not right in the United States.
I hope not.
Yeah. There's tribes that I've seen tribes that are in land that people don't even
Yeah.
step foot in, and
Yeah.
they practice cannibalism there. Like,
Mhm.
is that what you're talking about?
Yeah,
Because so then like leave it there,
just let them eat each other.
Well, not let them eat each other, but is that what can you do? Like there's tribes
Yeah.
that don't even have contact with humans outside of their tribe.
Okay.
So like, it's what they're like used to.
What about some of the tribes that like still do human sacrifices, or I think there's a Bori tribe where they eat the flesh of their like fallen friends, and they think that does something to them spiritually, or some of these Muslim countries that have like Sharia law. Obviously, they don't see women as equals. In some of these countries, if the woman gets raped, she'll get stoned
Right.
because she put herself in that position. That's what they think. So would those be inferior to Western culture?
I don't think it's about inferiority or
Yeah.
superiority. I think it's more so that some are more moral than others,
Yeah.
but I don't think it's in a hierarchy. I think it's more of a spectrum of who's more like protective of the people and who sees people as less than. Does that make sense?
Well, but wouldn't that inherently make it like superior or inferior if it's morally superior, right? Or if you look at all the countries where people want to live in, they're usually all Western countries. The U.S., Europe, Australia, or Canada.
I would say morally superior, but I wouldn't say like superior in general. Does that make sense? I don't know if I'm making sense, but
So how would you define then superior? Like I would say if people want to come to those nations, if they're the most prosperous nations, the happiest nations, wouldn't that just make them superior at that point?
what do you think?
I'm thinking.
Or is there different factors?
I mean, it also depends on like how you were raised and everything. Like, depending on like if that's the only culture that you've ever known, that's obviously going to be superior to you because you don't know anything other than that. But if people in general respect everyone else, then they're obviously going to be more striving to be in equal society. But I don't know if that would necessarily make it superior.
What about some more developed countries, like some Muslim nations with Sharia law, or India, where they, have poop throwing festivals? What about those cultures? Would you see them as equal to Western culture?
I just think that's generally like unfair. Sharia law again. I don't agree with it personally.
Yeah.
But if a group of people have convinced themselves or they want to do this, then I don't think that's worse or better. Or I don't think that's worse or unequal to Western, because there's a lot of inequality or bad. You can talk about bad culture in white American U.S. spaces like WASPs.
So would you say there's more moral cultures?
More moral cultures? I don't know. I don't think so. I'm not quite sure.
Okay, you said those are extreme outliers, but for example, Sharia law, where they don't see women as equal, they can't leave the house, or if a woman gets in Sharia law, they might get stoned to death. So you wouldn't say maybe Western culture where they give women,
well, in Western culture where we don't believe victims, that
No, and where
in
they
the U.S.
where the would get in trouble, not the victim.
Well, I mean,
Is
again, if I'm gonna argue in America where the actually don't get in trouble,
They don't?
do you think every is prosecuted?
Well, I mean, I'm sure not every, but
Yeah.
most of them.
Do you think most what's the word, that get like civil lawsuits or criminal lawsuits that get brought into the courts are fairly treated?
I would say unfairly for the man, for the most part.
That's a bold take.
I mean, if a woman says she got raped, doesn't even really need evidence, people are just going to believe her for the most part nowadays.
Yeah. Well, the guy doesn't get convicted, and there's a lot of scenarios where the woman did get raped, says she got raped, she doesn't have complete and total evidence, or even if she does, it's not perfectly applicable to the courts, so her doesn't get prosecuted.
So how can you prosecute someone if there's not enough evidence?
I also have to go to our round.
Okay, no problem. Thank you, man. Some cultures, like you guys admitted, some shouldn't be practiced here, or some might be not acceptable in our Western countries. Should we allow some of these people from these countries where they practice some of these cultures, should we let them come into the country?
Yes, as long as they don't practice cannibalism and those things that are not morally right in the United States.
I mean, what's the reason they want to come to the United States? Are you saying to give them citizenship, or are you saying to
Yeah, if they want to immigrate here, or they want to, seek maybe even refugee status here, should we let some of these people come in here? If they have such differing cultures from us, and maybe, you said as long as they don't practice their culture here, but what if they grew up with that all their life, and for generations that's what they did? Well, do you think it's even possible for them to integrate to our culture?
I think that the examples you gave me are very extreme. So in that case, like, I don't think they could be able to integrate with other people. Like, the example you gave me is cannibalism and like people like women and thinking it's right.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think they would be able to integrate here because no one here practices that.
So let's say like in India, they have, poop throwing festivals, or they poop on the street, they poop in the water and then go shower in the same water and then wash their clothes after. Would that be inferior, or is that just different?
Yeah, I think that's
I
just
think,
different.
yeah, it's
That's
just
just
different. That's different. But like going back to what you said about like human sacrifice, I mean, I view that as wrong.
Right.
I view that like immoral. But I feel like it's hard to just say that, yeah, we're superior because of that. I think it's a contributing factor. But also you have to like look into like history and everything, why they do that. I don't think it's right, but I feel like just calling one culture superior brings more problems than solutions.
Period.
Yeah. So I would definitely like investigate why that is, but I wouldn't say, oh well, Western culture is more superior than whatever, like Eastern culture or like, Asian, anything, like Middle Eastern, whatever. I wouldn't say that, but I would say there are some positives to Western culture that other cultures may be lacking. Like, I think for sure, like, human rights is like a big thing. There is a lot more human rights, like, emphasis here.
Yeah.
But I feel like labeling it as superior is not like a great way to put it, just because it's kind of like stigmatizing a little bit.
Yeah, those are obviously a little extreme, but something maybe less extreme, like for example, Indians. There are like 1.5 billion Indians on the planet, one of the highest populations, and their hygienic standards aren't really, we wouldn't find them acceptable in Western countries, right? Like they have poop throwing festivals, or they'll, go use the toilet in the river and then go shower there and then wash their clothes there. Do you think maybe we should limit some of these people from countries like that to come in here?
No.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. Like, I don't think that their hygiene standards should be a reason to like not come to the U.S. But as long as you're like following the law that the U.S. has, you're fine.
Do you think if we import enough of these people from like India, let's say, it'll turn the U.S. more like India?
No.
No?
No.
So what makes up the country? What makes up the culture? Is it
Like,
not the people?
The people, but the United States is a country with so many cultures that like we just coincide with each other. Like, it's not become anything different than it is because there's more population than another thing.
Do you think if they grow in population and they become, 20, 30% of the U.S., then maybe that will start changing?
Maybe, but like the United States is the United States, India is India. Like if 100% of the population of India comes to the United States, then of course it's gonna be India. I don't know. Like, I don't think it would change if we let people in.
Well, should we maybe put a cap? Because you said if
No.
all of India comes, like obviously there's 1.5 billion Indians, there's 350 million people in the U.S., so not even that many Indians have to come to the U.S. Percentage based for it to turn into like India.
Like, I don't think it would matter. Like, if you're here and Indians come and like start like a poop throwing contest, like you said, like you're not gonna partake in it, are you?
I wouldn't.
Exactly. Then, like, I don't know. Then why
But
would
don't
it
you
affect
think that they'll fundamentally change the country? Like you said, culture stems from the people. So if we change the demographics of the people, it's going to fundamentally change the country. Is
If
that
there's
right?
like 100% Indians, like it'll become Indian. But if not, like an Indian's not gonna change your beliefs, are they?
I mean, if they get into power, pass certain laws, certain things will become more normal and culturally acceptable because there's so many of them. I mean, eventually it's going to change the country, even if I don't believe in it.
Maybe.
Right, well, have a good day.
Okay. All right, guys, thank you for watching the video. I think we got a few different answers. As you can see, some people weren't too happy discussing these certain subjects. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Do you think some cultures are inherently superior? I mean, I think we could see throughout history and what certain cultures have done that, yeah, some are unfortunately superior, or fortunately for that matter. But let me know in the comments below if you guys have any topics that you want me to cover, and see you guys next time.